Hey guys, it's Mew, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking about how I make character designs. As a disclaimer, please note that I'm far from a professional artist, though I am trying to become one, sort of. These are just things that I do, and I'd love to be a professional artist slash character designer, etc., but I'm far from that. This is just what works for me, and you can apply as much or as little of my process to your own. So, before I design, I try to think of as much about a character as I can. Name, age, hobbies, job, fashion sense, personality, uh, whatever you can think of, write it down, and you can use that as a base for like the character's bio and just start kind of thinking of ideas. So the character that I will be designing for this video was named Loomis Spinneret. When I first made the script, his nickname is the Spider because he's meant to be a very spiderish demon. I will be referring to him as the Spider from now on because I wasn't sold on his real name just yet. So as you may know, I have a story named Kingdoms. There's demons, and I was toying with the idea of adding more animal-like demons. And I decided with the making of the spider, I would just make them a thing, because why not? So here's what I have for his bio at the moment. He's immortal, was born at the same time Earth was, but he looks and acts like a 25-year-old. Don't really have any hobbies in mind for him. He's going to become a king of the Hell of Callisto because there are many hells in this world. His fashion sense I've only vaguely figured out. It's like spiderish and slutty. And I also really want him to wear a crop top. The spider is a flirty, charming individual. He's a bit of a tease, and he does enjoy scaring the shit out of people, but it's mostly for the bit. He doesn't want to actually instill like really bad like fear and terror in people. He recognizes that those who aren't so familiar with animalistic demons are a bit put off, so he doesn't scare strangers that bad, but he'll try to scare the shit out of his friends all the time. He is super genuine and affectionate. Oh my god. He is super genuine and affectionate. He's kind of like the mama bear, but he's not a mom or a woman. And he also has an angel girlfriend who's kind of experienced the same thing as him, where they're both kind of viewed as like terrifying when they actually aren't. With that first bio, don't feel compelled to stick to anything if you don't want to, especially if this is a new OC you're making for the first time. You're bound to change a couple things. It's also a good idea to keep in mind like the purpose of the OC. Like if it's just for fun, do what you want. If it's for like a comic or an animated something, animated show or whatever, you don't want to go too crazy with the designs, try to keep things simple. And if it's like set in a certain universe, like just for example, if you're making an OC who is from Homestuck and they're a troll, there's a bunch of rules for the trolls that you have to keep in mind. So you may have to follow certain rules, even like rules for your OCs that you made for yourself. Like if they're a fictional species that you made for your story, you have to keep in mind those rules. Anyway, that's just to say, consider their purpose and keep that in mind when you design them and write their bio. Once you have some kind of stuff going, make a Pinterest board and start pinning whatever you want. I just want to put a disclaimer. I have heard that Pinterest is like getting kind of weird and they're like banning people for like really ridiculous things, and also like AI is starting to become a thing on there. I need to look into potential alternatives to Pinterest. So if you don't want to use Pinterest, you can just Google and put stuff on like a Google drawing. Take pictures off the internet and just like print them out. Just get inspiration for your OCs and save it somewhere so that you kind of have a place to like start going off of. So, I've been thinking pretty hard about what I want the spider's anatomy to look like, so I pinned some Jorogumos just for inspiration for like how I wanted his body to look and how it would like function, I guess. I wanted him to have like spider-inspired clothes. I couldn't really find anything that I liked, but I just pinned them anyway, just because. And also crop tops, obviously, because I want him to be the crop top guy. And I don't typically pin this, but it would also probably be a good idea to pin like hairstyles and hair inspiration and face inspiration, like as a reference to if you don't really have a face or hair in mind. So once you've got all your visual references, start drawing. Just doodle and play around until you find stuff that feels right. I don't really do this step because I don't have this kind of time, but I really should play around with my designs more just to test shit out and not just go with my first idea. To be fair though, I don't usually go with my first idea anyway. I'll make a sketch like underneath, and then I'll draw the clothes on top with some trial and error, and then I'll just kind of be like, okay, I like this. Let's commit to this. And then if I want to make changes, I'll just make new references. Or just like doodle them and then make new references. So I will be showing you the stuff I did in my sketchbook. So, hair. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted. I tried I did try out like these like fluffy hairstyles with like the long front and then the shorter back, kind of like Ramona Flowers. And I also tried one with braids. I've also had this just like curly, like long left hair and then shorter hair on the right in mind for a while, and I drew that again, and I think I got it to something I like. Although thinking about it, I think I like this hairstyle so much because it reminds me a lot of Kusama from my fucking making a Genshin inspired thing. For the face, just kind of drew face shape and like the eyes and stuff, and for the most part I like this. I just wanted to like adjust the placement of the eyes. Then I was trying to figure out like what kind of crop top. This one was just kind of like off the shoulder, kind of folds down crop top with gloves, and then down here that's just kind of like what he wears on the bottom. It wasn't a skirt yet, but it's hard to explain. It's just like something he ties around his waist to keep his lower half covered. And then this like crop top that's just like imagine a tank top, but I cut the bottom half. That's it. And then I was like, what if a crop top, but like it's like spider web shaped? I didn't like that, so I ditched that. Then I tried just like drawing him like from the front view, what he would look like with the spider bits behind him. This like high crop top with the neck kind of going up high that like kind of exposes his stomach more. And then I did like this upper indented thing, which I ended up liking a lot. That might have been my first idea a while back, because I have drawn a concept for him before. I might have just accidentally kind of settled with I drew that first time. If so, oops. Anyway. And then I drew like this scarf thingy. Then I decided to just like draw like a pose. That I don't know if I wanted it to be the final necessarily. But drew a final pose, which I decided to use in this version. He's still kind of got that tied off look. With like, but like an upper, like the left leg is exposed, and then the right just kind of has like the skirt thingy covering it. I gave him like thigh high garters and then like these like boots for some reason. Didn't draw his horns at all, but I've always had this in mind, like very like rounded, sort of mimicking the spider leg stuff. And I've also debated where the hell do I put the tail, because it does kind of feel weird to put it at the end of his, like, spider body, but also putting it at the more, like, with his more humanoid part would also be kind of weird, because, like, like, it feels weird for it to just be coming out, like, by his booty. That feels stupid. Anyway, like that enough, so I decided, okay, I think I like this enough. So I took that into Ibis Paint and I started drawing the final. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hope this was helpful. I always forget to advertise my Patreon, so remember, I do have a Patreon for a minimum $3 a month. You get to see everything I post. Originally $10 was for streaming, and then $15 was for a shout out at the end, but I don't know if I'm still gonna do that. I don't know. Might need to restructure the Patreon sometime soon, because there's, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Anyway. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!